What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a react to this video. It's titled How I'm Going to Learn Arabic in 365 Days from One Word at a Time, and it was posted just over a month ago. Now, which means he should have probably dropped another video by now, and I actually saw that he did. Now, this says I've watched the whole video. I don't know why. I clicked on it for like 1 second. It's like, congratulations, you finished it. I think I pretty much just jumped to the end by accident or something, but I haven't seen it at all. So what I'm planning to do is, maybe in a month or two, I'll come back and see if he's still doing the challenge. After all, we had that great experience with the Persian challenge I was following, and that got me copyright strikes. So we'll see how this one goes. Now, straight up, Arabic 365 days, that's going to be a hell of a challenge, and I guess we got to see what he means by to learn here, because, well, Arabic is one of the hardest languages for an English speaker to learn. That's along with Chinese and Japanese and a few other languages, but basically, you pick the hard one, okay? But I am always curious, and I'm always down to follow someone's challenge. Let's begin.
You on the internet always say, put your money where your mouth is, so I'm giving myself 365.
I'm gonna be honest, the internet doesn't say that. Like, the internet says that in a way, and then they never come back and watch your stuff. Like, most of them forget about it until you actually do put your money where your mouth is, and you actually, like, start following a challenge for a set amount of time, and then people are like, oh, okay. Oh, this one's a real one. Oh, maybe I'll follow this one. Why is that highlighted? Oh, it says data, 1 word at a time. Data. Oh, I love it. Love it.
Days to learn Arabic. Here are the specific goals, routines, schedule, and tools of how I'm going to do it, and how you can join in on your language learning journey, no matter what language you're learning or whatever phase you're at. On the heels of 2 decades studying Hebrew and 4 years of intensive German immersion, including...
Oh, okay, so he already speaks Hebrew. I'm guessing to a pretty good degree, because... Well, the reason I bring that up is because Hebrew is in the semantic language family, which is obviously related to Arabic. That's going to make the journey so much easier for him in a lot of ways. But obviously, it's still going to be a hell of a challenge. And this guy's actually kept his Anki decks for all time. I regularly delete my Anki decks. This is... Wow, okay.
Including 500,000 note card reviews in Anki, this Ashkenazi Jew will take what I've learned to responsibly, realistically, but aggressively spend time with Arabic to get proficient over the next 12 months. The 3 primary goals of my year are build up a vocabulary of 3,650 words in Arabic via Anki, an average of 10 new words per day.
Okay, so 10 new words a day is actually... It's not that bad. Like, 10 new words a day is not that bad at all. Like, I've done long periods of time where I did 15 new words a day. I've done shorter periods of time where I did 20 words a day, and even shorter periods of time where I did like freaking 40 words a day. I will say, don't go over 15 words a day unless you want to be drowned in reviews. It becomes painful after that point. 10 words a day, that's pretty manageable.
Read 1 book longer than 200 pages. Harry Potter. And
Harry Potter, my man. That is the go-to book for everyone who's learning a language. I don't know why, okay? I've read it fully in Esperanto. I've touched on it in Mandarin Chinese, mainly, you know, my Chinese... I don't know enough Chinese characters to be able to read that. And I guess eventually I'll get to it with Spanish as well. It's just, it's funny that is the go-to book for everyone.
And upload 1 video in Arabic.
Wait, he's gonna only upload 1 video? Oh, man, that would be so much better if you uploaded with every single release of a video. Depending on how many videos you're going to do, I'm assuming, based on what I just saw before, 1 video a month. You should record, like, try and do as much as you can each month in it. That'd be so much more interesting.
The principles underlying my routine and calendar based on the other languages I've gotten proficient in. My pillar number 1, vocabulary. As I've covered before ad nauseum, the number of words you know in a language is one of the best indicators of your proficiency. And with that in mind, having learned 10,000 words in German,
okay, I'm going to add a little caveat to that, because you can know a whole heap of words, and then when you go to, like, watch a movie or something, it's not just about knowing the words, you need to be able to instantly recognize them. Obviously, you need to know them before you can recognize them, but, like, I just want to add that little bit in, because there's people who know so many words, and yet they can't hear any of them. You actually have to spend time listening to them.
German, that was overkill. 5,000 will do more than enough, but that's probably too much for me to learn in a year, so we're just going to settle on 10 a day, which is that 3,650 total.
So that 3,650, is that really enough to be able to have a conversation? I feel like you'd need like somewhere between 6,000 plus words to be a good B2, and then more than that to start moving into the C1 territory. This is not based on any hard numbers, by the way. This is just based on feelings for my experience with other languages. Because, like, for example, with Mandarin Chinese, I easily know more than 3,600 words. Easily know more than that, okay? And I'm like a B1. So it's like...
words by the end of the year. No single tool has so efficiently and thoroughly improved my vocabulary as Anki, so I will continue using it for Arabic. For the uninitiated, Anki is a
Okay, so it looks like he's going to go based on visual recognition of words. So on the front, he's got the word, and on the back, well, this is like what he did with German, I guess. And then on the back, he's got the actual words. So basically, he's just trying to recognize them with Anki, and then he's going to use the reading, I guess, to actually see them in context. Now, obviously, depending on the language you're learning, if it's got a script that's similar, then that's okay. Arabic, I'm guessing he's going to spend some time learning the script.
Card app with a very smart scheduling algorithm, so you only review the things you've learned when you need to. The main shift in how I plan on using Anki is relying more on closed deletion cards.
That's one of my favorites. So I spoke about, I showed closed deletions in a live stream I did recently, how I did them, which is pretty much exactly like this. This is his German. I have not done German in like forever. I did a tiny bit years and years ago. So let me see if I can pronounce just some of this. Ich something meinem Freund. I don't know. You guys let me know.
Basically just fill in the blank cards. I will continue to use basic note cards for concrete nouns and adjectives, but I plan on using these closed deletion fill in the blank cards for verbs. My second pillar is staying engaged. Besides the total number of words that you know, the amount of time that you spend with a language is the next best indicator of your success. While textbook study has been helpful in the past to lay a foundation and help me get my bearings, I know that finding something that I want to do that just happens to be in the language I'm learning is key.
I know this sounds like a stupid point, but for people who follow a more traditional path learning a language, this is actually where they fuck up the most, okay? This is where they make the biggest mistakes. Because they will spend so much time in the grammar books, learning all the rules, and then when they'll like sit down and finally try to listen to something, they'll be like, why do I not understand anything? And they'll feel really, really, sad about the fact that they haven't made any progress. Well, on the opposite end, you've got the people who will like spend so much time with input and they feel like they're not making enough progress, so they just keep adding more and more hours on until it becomes like this ever-encompassing thing that takes over their whole life. The best approach is definitely a mixture of the two worlds right here. So you got to find something that keeps you engaged, and by engaged, you want to be like fully 100% engaged. Like one thing that I'm doing right now, if you guys don't know, is I have a series that I've just started for members only, where I am playing games in Spanish with Spanish Boost Gaming, if you know him, okay? So basically, I'm doing just crosstalk with him. So I'm not actually speaking, but he's speaking in Spanish, and because we're actually playing a game, I'm fully engaged. And those 2 hours that I did in that my first game session with him, that actually cooked my brain quite a bit, okay? Because like I was hyper-focused the entire time to everything he was saying. It's very different compared to something if you're like just passively listening to something.
Still nailing down a foundational project like this for Arabic, besides for becoming conversational, but I know that my insatiable appetite for YouTube can be diverted towards Arabic if I find the right content. More on that in just a sec.
This is actually going to be my biggest concern, is like with Arabic, would I actually find the content that I'm interested in? That would be definitely the biggest like problem. It's actually one of the biggest problems I face with Chinese. With Spanish, it's so easy to find content I like, okay? But with Chinese, it's more of a struggle.
As a working dad, I'm hoping to have at least 30 to 60 minutes every single day to focus on Arabic, with a rough breakdown of my time as follows. At least 50% of my time reading, watching, and listening, in a word, immersing. Then no more than 25% Anki and vocabulary, and then no more than 25% textbook and grammar learning.
Okay, so I don't know how closely related Hebrew is to Arabic, but that seems like not much time spent. I don't mind this breakup. That breakup doesn't look bad. Like Anki, you can smash through pretty quickly. Grammar study, I'm assuming you've got a book series. Once you've got that figured out and you just got to play and you just follow it, that's fine. In Immersion, you just kind of sit there. But like the time frame of just 30 minutes to an hour per day, that seems pretty. Like, then again, maybe Hebrew is similar enough to Arabic that you can pull this off. But like, obviously, if you're me and you don't speak Hebrew or something, those hours just would not work.
Though the plan is to shift this over time to increase immersion.
That makes sense as well, because once you get the core of the vocab of the language down in the grammar, you want to kind of smash more immersion. But I saw that there was nothing about speaking in there.
Number 3, to learn to speak, you need to speak. I learned this the hard way with Hebrew and with German, that no matter how big your vocabulary is or how much you understand the language, you need to train that muscle by speaking. That means when reviewing Arabic words and sentences in Enki, I will speak. No more early morning or late night, blanket-ensconced intellectual growth. Also, after conversing earlier this year with fellow creator and language extraordinaire Will Hart, when I review those close verb cards in Enki, I'll make sure that I'm doing sentence remixes to build my speaking skills. So,
I got nothing against Will Hart. I like him as well. My biggest concern right now is that he's not going to be learning the spoken language. Like, I guess the Anki side of thing could be considered speaking because he's using closed sentences, but you need to actively engage with the language. I feel like there should be at least like one session a week with a native where he sits down for an hour, tries to have a conversation with them, and then records that and actually uses that to sentence mind stuff.
I'm supposed to fill in the Arabic word apple into the sentence, I ate a delicious apple. I would follow that up by saying, I ate a delicious sandwich, or
yeah, so I've spoken about this before. You can create multiple cards doing this, or you can just, think in the spot when you're reading the sentence, just try to create more on the spot.
I ordered a delicious apple. And finally, for speaking, once I know enough words, AI is the cost-effective starting solution to language exchange partners. In the past few months, I've had a great time using Google's chat.
I don't know when this video here is going to drop. It may drop before or after my ChatGPT investigation. Make sure you guys watch that.
ChatGPT equivalent called Gemini to practice speaking for hours in German and Hebrew. And finally, pillar number 4. Time for my yearly self-reminder that learning about language learning is not the same thing as learning a new language. And yes, this is a nudge to you, dear one word at a time viewer, to watch a video in German, Arabic, Spanish, French, or whatever language you're learning, but only once this video is over. As I begin learning my 4th language, I know that success is nothing more than applying these pillars day in, day out over a long period of time. Now,
yeah, basically just consistency. That's it at the end of the day. You just, realistically, okay, like, he's probably spoken about the most effective method here, in a way, okay. There is some optimization that can be done there in time. I think there needs to be more time dedicated. However, even if you don't go with this method, even if you go with any other method, okay, at the end of the day, the one thing that does get you there in the end is consistency. You need to do something every day with the language.
Now let's go through the planned calendar for the upcoming year. With a very, very big life change coming in the next couple of days, the only prep work that I've done is to learn the Arabic alphabet intentionally without learning the meaning of a single word.
Yeah, that's probably a smart move. You need to get the script down.
The reason for this willful blindness was to make sure that by January 1st, I knew enough about the letters and reading that I could get up and running with Anki.
Okay, so he learned the script before technically the challenge started. That's a bit sneaky, but okay. It's okay, who cares?
Only spent 7 hours learning the letter names, how they're pronounced, and a bit of reading practice. That's it, and I'm not particularly good. The only words that I've picked up through osmosis are that I think bint means daughter and kitab means book, I think. And so I think I'm ready enough to get the schedule underway.
But if you spend 8 hours learning the script and you plan to spend 1 hour a day learning the language, that's technically 8 days. You already stole 8 days from the challenge. I feel ripped off. I'm just fucking with him.
Here's the monthly schedule for the first part of the year. January. I'll start by learning 5 new words a day in Enki, and that'll come along with watching at least 1 video in Arabic per day on YouTube. I will also be working through a highly recommended textbook called Mastering Arabic.
Anyone know about that textbook? Is that actually, like, what dialect is that? Or is that just, what's it called? The standard Arabic. Oh, God, I forgot the name. How can I forget this right now while making this video? Okay, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Because, like, if he's going to be learning, basically the Quran version of Arabic, no one speaks like that. I'm assuming, like, does it actually show on the cover? Jane with Mastering Arabic 1. Okay, I'm just going to take a look at this book. I'm curious to see what it teaches. Learn to understand, speak, and read. Yeah, modern standard Arabic. So isn't the problem that no one actually speaks modern standard Arabic except on TV? And I guess in like political, well, when I say on TV, I mean like in news reports or when, doing political stuff, but people don't actually speak that on the street. Like what do YouTubers in the Arabic world speak? Do they speak their local dialect or do they actually speak modern standard Arabic? I do not know enough about that world. I would love to hear from you guys down below because I feel like that if I was to learn Arabic, this seems like a bad idea because then I'm not going to be able to communicate with anyone. Like, how different is modern standard Arabic to the actual street spoken Arabic.
On YouTube. I will also be working through a highly recommended textbook called Mastering Arabic. A successful January will be one where I'm thoroughly confused and overwhelmed by Arabic, but there's also that familiar feeling from having learned German and Hebrew that I can claw myself out of that hole. In terms of content, I already have a lineup that interests me from videos on Easy Arabic and a Lebanese podcast called Sarda After Dinner. Though please comment with any recommendations.
So, is that podcast then in modern standard Arabic, or is it in the Lebanese, what's that Arabic called? I know its name. Levantine? Am I right? Am I right, guys? Levantine Arabic? I need to know now. Levantine. Oh, Levantine Arabic. Yes, because that there be Lebanon. Okay, so this would be Levantine Arabic. How different is that? How different is Levantine Arabic to modern standard Arabic? Okay, so spoken in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine is quite different from modern standard Arabic, but not so different that speakers can't understand both with education and exposure. So MSA is used in formal, like education stuff. So there's pronunciation differences, vocabulary differences, grammar differences. Considering that this is a year-long challenge, this seems a little bit dangerous. But I don't know what his end goal is anyway.
That you have. February. By the end of month 1, I'll increase my daily rate to 10 new vocab words per day and start with a graded reader. As month 2 starts, I'll continue watching YouTube videos and working through Mastering Arabic with the goal of completing all 20 chapters by the end of the month. In month 3, I'll continue the routine and begin to focus on the Levantine dialect, specifically through.
Okay, so he's going to swap from MSA to the Levantine dialect. Is there a reason for that? Is there just no grammar books for it? It seems to me I would start with that.
A resource called Madrasa, which is focused on conversation, and it'll be helpful because it's a resource designed for Hebrew speakers. I also plan on having a 3-sentence daily summary that I write and speak as a way of beginning the process of outputting in Arabic. In the month of May, I started reading Harry Potter after about 6 months of learning German, and based on Anki, my total vocabulary size was around 3,000 words, though this was the second book that I was reading in German. With an anticipated vocabulary of only around 1,000 words by the end of April, I still hope to try reading Harry Potter for the first time at the beginning of May, and come hell or high water, I will get through the first chapter. So I'll see if it's impossibly hard or just uncomfortably hard, and decide what to do from there. And for the second half of the year, my rough goal as of now is to start having conversations after 6 months of learning. I will have started doing those sentence close deletion cards and the sentence remixes before 6 months into the year, but at that point, I'll shift to speaking and having conversations with another real live person, probably through a platform like italki, or maybe I'll just get started with Gemini or ChatGPT.
The plan to me sounds great. I really don't know how similar Hebrew and Arabic are, because, just looking at this from my own perspective, just the time frame seems completely unrealistic at the moment. But then again, maybe they're so similar. You know what? Let's ask ChatGPT. How similar is Arabic and Hebrew? Very closely related languages, much closer to each other than, for example, English and French. Okay then. Arabic and Hebrew both descend. Yeah, we already know that. So this is how you'd say it in Arabic, this is how you say it in Hebrew. Okay then. Okay, maybe this is a bit more realistic, eh? Looking at this might be just a case of trying to figure out what the etymological differences in phonetic shifts are between the languages. And what I'm talking about here is because a lot of these words are similar, let's say ism starts and here it's shim. So maybe there is a historical reason for why it shifted in this direction or that direction, okay? And then you can just kind of apply that rule across the board here. And that would speed things up greatly, but it looks like they're a lot more closely related than I thought.
The rest of the year is, of course, up for grabs, and I'm sure that I'll be honing this plan as I go through the year. So here is where you come in. If you've watched this far in the video, you are learning a language next year. That's not a question. So I'd love for you to comment what your learning goals are for the upcoming year.
I'm already learning multiple languages, bro. Don't put this on me. Okay, well, my goals are I want to possibly try get to the 1,500 hours of Spanish. That is my Spanish goal for this year. I doubt I'm going to get that far, okay? Maybe I'll get to like 1,200 or something like that. My goal is to put a lot more time on input for Chinese because I've kind of slacked off on Chinese over the last few months, mainly because I've been working on this channel, funnily enough. So I want to get some more time on that. And I kind of want to start touching on Japanese. So, like, doing it as, like, the third priority, just building up my understanding of the very, very basics of the language so that when the Spanish gets further along, I can start pulling back on the Spanish because then it would just become kind of a language that I can just kind of grow naturally while I'm watching content and speaking with people and making videos, and then focus more heavily on Japanese. That's my crazy ass goals.
And I want to invite us to be accountability partners, both for wins and for hiccups. I love being active in the comments on these videos, so I want to plant the seed now for you to post a comment in the coming videos for how your goals are going. An important part of my Arabic journey will be progress posted in regular update videos over the course of the next 365 days. I'll upload one check-in video each month covering my progress. That's how the goals are going, how the goals are shifting, and fingers crossed, maybe an example or two of me speaking in Arabic.
Okay, so if you guys want me to keep following this challenge, let me know down in the comment section below. He's already released another video. I could do a react to it if you guys are interested. I'm kind of interested because he seems like he's more in it for the challenge as opposed to just, you know, trying to prove something. And I'm guessing if this falls through, we're going to learn a lot of valuable data from this, as he said, okay, and it is what it is, I guess. So I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you've enjoyed this video, you know what you need to do. Like the goddamn video, sub to the channel, or Elmo will beat your face in with that Arabic book that you just saw. And I'll see you all in the next video.